Today we're going to talk about planning a budget. We need to go over some vocabulary first. Fixed expenses. An expense that stays the same from month to month. Example, your house payment or your car payment. You know the amount of this and you will be able to plan for it. Variable expense is an expense that may change from month to month. Example, your utilities or your groceries. Your utility bill is going to be based on how much of the utilities you use. Your energy usage might not be the same from month to month, and your grocery bill may not be the same from month to month as well. So those are variable expenses, things that could be different. They vary. A budget is a plan to help you reach your financial goals. Your income is money that's paid to a person for goods, services, or investments. Your salary is a fixed amount of money paid to an employee by an employer in return for work performed yearly. So if someone is talking about their salary, they're talking about what they make in a year. Wages is an amount of money that a worker is paid based on the number of hours that are worked. Planned savings is a set amount from your paycheck that you deposit into savings. Retirement is money that you set aside for after you retire. Exploring a family budget. A family budget is a financial plan based on the amount of money needed to live. In general, the total family income must meet or exceed the total family expenses. The number of children, employment benefits such as insurance, and where the family lives all affect the budget. The Jones family includes 2 parents and 2 children. The family lives in Beaumont, Texas. They have an employer-sponsored insurance plan where the employer pays 100% of one parent's insurance premium and 50% of the rest of the family's premiums. The table shows the minimum monthly expenses rounded to the nearest dollar for the family. The data is based on an online family budget estimator. Use this information to fill out the first column of rows 1 through 7 of the form given on the next page. So we see that we have the Joneses' monthly expenses and the descriptions on the left. So we want to fill in 1 through 7 on the right. So for housing, first let's start at the top, sorry. The family name is Jones. The city or town is Beaumont. The number of parents is 2, and the number of children is 2. Their housing is going to be $593. Their food is going to be $491. Child care is $594. Their medical cost is going to be $462. Their transportation is $322. Other necessities is $309. The total tax impact is going to be taking the amount from the chart that says federal tax credits, which we see here is a negative $345, and adding that to the federal taxes, payroll, and income, $282. So since we have different signs, we will subtract. Our larger number is negative, so our answer is going to be negative. 5 minus 2 is 3. Borrow from the 3 become a 2. 4 becomes a 14. 4 minus 8 is 6. So we get a negative $63. To find the total federal tax impact, find the sum of the federal taxes and federal tax credits. This can be a negative number, which is considered a credit. In order to go on, we need to look at the information down here at the bottom of the page. The Joneses earn $600 more each month than the necessary monthly income. This allows them to save for retirement, emergencies, and college. Complete the chart for 8 through 10. So what we're going to do is we are going to take their necessary monthly income, which is $2,708, and we know that they make $600 more, so we need to add that. 8 plus 0 is 0, 0 plus 0 is 0, 7 plus 6 is 13, carry the 1, 2 plus 1 is 3. So they have $3,308. So we need to figure out the percentage that they're going to save for retirement. So it tells me that they're going to save 9%. So I'm going to take their total, $3,308, change my percent to a decimal, and multiply by decimal point 0.09. 9 times 8 is 72, carry the 7. 9 times 0 is 0, plus 7 is 7. 9 times 3 is 27, carry the 2. 9 times 3 is 27, carry the 2, which is 29. I'm going to need 2 decimal places. Start at the right, move over, 1, 2. So they are going to save $298. We're going to round to the nearest dollar. Let's see what they're going to have in their emergency fund. That's going to be 3% of their monthly income, which we figured out is $3,308. So we're going to change our decimal to a percent and multiply by 300ths. 3 times 8 is 24. 3 times 0 is 0, plus 2 is 2. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 3 is 9. We need 2 decimal places. So we're going to move in 2 decimal places, round that to the nearest dollars. That'll be $99. And the college fund is going to be $30 per child. We know that they have 2 children, so 30 times 2 is going to be $60. What is the combined household hourly wage for the Joneses? So if we look back here, the combined hourly wage for the Joneses is going to be $16. What does this mean if both parents are looking for a job and Mr. Jones finds a job paying $10 per hour? So if Mr. Jones is going to make $10 per hour, then Mrs. Jones needs to find a job that is going to pay at least $6 an hour. Because the combined income needs to be $16 an hour. So if Mr. Jones makes $10 an hour, then Mrs. Jones needs to make at least $6 an hour. So we're going back to the chart that tells us that their household hourly wage needs to be $16 an hour for them to be able to meet their budget. So if Mr. Jones has a job for $10 an hour, Mrs. Jones needs a job for $6 an hour. Exploring a family budget in different cities. Living in different parts of the country or the state can mean different budgets for even the same family. This may be because housing is more expensive in one area compared to another, or perhaps transportation costs are generally higher because most people live in the suburbs and have a further commute to work. The Jones family is considering a move to the Dallas-Fort Worth area. The table shows the expenses from the table in Activity 1, as well as the data from an online family budget estimator for living in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Fill in the missing blanks for the Dallas-Fort Worth area, round to the nearest dollar. So the total monthly expenses for the Dallas-Fort Worth area is right here. So we're going to add all of these numbers up to find the total monthly expenses. Make sure you line up your decimals. We have $781, $491, $1,021, $462, $403, and $360. So we're going to add all of those up. So we get 1 plus 1 is 2, plus 1 is 3, plus 2 is 5, plus 3 is 8. 8 plus 9 is 17, plus 2 is 19, plus 6 is 25, plus 6 is 31. 7 plus 3 is 10, plus 4 is 14, plus 4 is 18, plus 4 is 22, plus 3 is 25, and 2 plus 1 is 3. So the total monthly expenses is going to be $3,518. The federal taxes, payroll, and income is $492, and the federal tax credit is a negative $267. So we need to add those two together. Since we have different signs, we will subtract. Our answer will be positive because the larger number is positive. 9, borrow from the 9, becomes an 8. 2 becomes 12. 12 minus 7 is 5. 8 minus 6 is 2. 4 minus 2 is 2. So we get $225. So we can compare the prices, the amounts that it costs to live in Beaumont, Texas versus Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas. So let's look at the charts. Compare the cost of living in Beaumont to the cost of living in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So let's see which place is more expensive to live. All right, before we answer that question, I need to erase this because I need to add that to this number. 3,518 plus $225. 8 plus 5 is 13, carry the 1. 2 plus 1 is 3 plus 1 is 4. 5 plus 2 is 7, bring down the 3. So it is $3,743 is the total required income to live in Dallas-Fort Worth. So we want to compare. So let's look at these numbers here. We can see this is what it costs to live in Beaumont, and this is what it costs to live in Dallas. So we can say that it is more expensive to live in Dallas. It is more expensive to live in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So let's look at some comparisons. Let's look at housing. In Beaumont, housing is $593. In Dallas-Fort Worth, housing is $781. So housing went up. Let's look at child care. Beaumont, $594. In Dallas-Fort Worth area, $1,021. Child care went up. And let's look at food. Food, we have $491, $491. Food did not change. And what about medical costs? We have our medical costs, $462, $462. Medical cost did not change.